Hey everyone, long time no see. So sorry about that. I totally jinxed myself in my last video saying that I thought everything was going to be great from that point on, and I thought my nausea and morning sickness had all subsided. Well, very wrong. Very, very wrong. I feel like I jinxed myself with that. So sorry, I'm really behind on updates. I'm actually almost a month behind on updates because the last one I did I know was 8 weeks. And I just am 12 weeks as of today. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be my 9-10 week update, and then I'm going to do 11 next, and then I should be caught up. So 9 and 10. Week 9 was pretty uneventful, just the same usual symptoms that I was talking about in week 8. They started to get a little bit worse, particularly the morning sickness, but I was very, very moody during week 9, and mostly towards the angry side, just super moody and just hair-triggered temper, so that was not fun. Super sensitive to smells, particularly meat cooking, or anything like that, just super, super sensitive to any kind of smells associated with cooking. Yeah, week 9 was pretty uneventful. And to be honest, since that was, 3 weeks ago, I can't exactly remember everything, and I didn't really write down what was happening that week. And if I did, I can't really find the paperwork. Anyways, so last update that I did, I talked about my ultrasound, so then this was the week after that, and it was a great week. I was super excited, just feeling good and happy and over the moon about hearing the heartbeat, seeing the heartbeat, etc., etc. Sorry, if I keep looking down, it's because I have notes and things like that, but the last video I wasn't able to show you guys, let you guys hear the heartbeat, because I did make a little recording of that, so I'm going to play that through my phone right now, and I hope you guys can hear that. Yeah, let's see, I should. Just wait a second. Here we go. Here you go. I hope you guys can hear it. Pretty loud. Yeah, so I snuck that little clip in there. So yeah, that was fun, and yeah, so week 9, pretty uneventful. So let's skip to the next week, week 10. So this is where everything, this is what I call the week from hell, was week 10. Sorry, of course I just turned the volume up on my phone. Anyways, so week 9, to be honest, I don't have much notes from that. It's total blur. That week was just pretty uneventful. So yeah, then 10 weeks, week from hell. I ended up having to go back to the ER again, the same one that I went to when I was about 6 weeks, almost 7 weeks, I believe, for the morning sickness. And this time, this was the worst bout. When the morning sickness originally hit me at 6 weeks, it was horrific, but I felt like this time was even worse. I was pretty much puking non-stop for a whole week. And I mean non-stop, every day, multiple times a day. I can't even tell you on certain days how many times I threw up. They asked me at the hospital to guess, and I would say, I don't know, between 5 and 30 or something crazy like that. Realistically, the least amount of times I would throw up was probably about 3, 4, 5 maybe, but I don't even think really 3 or 4, because it was pretty bad. It was a lot of heaving too, and then I would just get to the point where I messed up, and what I think kind of happened again was I let my nausea affect my appetite, and I just wasn't eating as much, and I think that also contributed to it. And I was trying to snack and things like that, and actually the day the nausea really hit me was Sunday, so it was the day before. So I guess it actually started like right at the end of 9 weeks. It was the day before I turned 10 weeks. I actually went to Whole Foods and I got a ton of groceries. I got all this stuff that I really wanted. And of course, I ended up wasting a ton of it. I got these fruit tarts that I love that they like rarely make ever. Didn't get to eat my freaking fruit tarts. I got salmon that I really wanted. I did get to eat the salmon, but then I threw it up and wasn't able to. I just couldn't eat. I just got so sick after that I couldn't eat. So it really sucked because I felt like my appetite was fine, and then this nausea kind of just morning sickness just hit me out of nowhere really bad. And it just kept getting worse and worse every day, the nausea and the vomiting. And of course, I was getting really dehydrated from it, which was just making a whole array of other issues. And no appetite. It was just so hard for me to force myself to eat because I was so nauseous. And then, just all all the stomach issues that come with pregnancy are awful. I hate to complain about it, but if you've ever been pregnant, then you probably understand what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you're so lucky. I'm pretty sure almost every single pregnant woman experiences constipation, and it's awful. I've actually found a perfect solution, which has been one of my cravings, which has been baked beans. And that has really, really helped with the constipation. TMI, but there's no TMI in pregnancy updates, really, is there? Anyways, but the constipation and the throwing up, it was just all awful. My poor stomach was just everything was just so whack, and I was just super hormonal too, and it really takes a toll on you emotionally when you're so sick, because you can't take care of yourself, and you rely on your partner or parent or whoever, friend, if you have someone to take care of you. But I know that there are some women that are single parents already through pregnancy, and I can't imagine being this sick and not having anyone. I felt really bad though. I felt like I was kind of almost a burden on my boyfriend, even though it wasn't my fault that I was sick. But it's hard also relying on somebody else because, they have to take care of themselves too and stuff. But when you're relying on them to help you eat, just get up and just do all sorts of stuff, it just really sucks. So at the hospital, they also found I'm just going to touch upon the hospital thing really quickly because it was just really shitty. Actually, we'll come back to that. My hair started falling out a lot, mostly in the shower, and I noticed mild cramping, and then I also noticed my belly started to show a little bit. That's the only thing that sucks about me missing the updates, is I can't show you guys what my belly progression really, but for this next update on 11 weeks, I'll still probably show you my belly anyways, even though I'm 12 weeks. Anyways, so yeah, the only eventful thing from the week from Hell Week 10 was the ER trip when I was 10 weeks, 6 days, so I guess I was almost 11 weeks at that point. But anyways, at the ER, of course, they had to give me IV fluids because I was severely dehydrated. And IV meds. Unfortunately, they had to give me Zofran, and I did have to take a couple Zofran pills in that time, but very minimal. I think I didn't take any more than 5, maybe. So I'm not super worried about the whole Zofran, the issues and possible defects with Zofran, just because I've talked to my doctors and things about that and stuff. And in this case, it was one of those situations where the benefits definitely probably outweighed the cons, because I could not stop throwing up no matter what. The day I went to the hospital, still, I could barely get there because I was just so nauseous and just didn't want to get up. And being so sick, I even missed my appointment with my midwife, so I had to push that back. It's just all been it was all really, really stressful, and it took a toll on me emotionally a lot. It took a big toll on me. So yeah, they gave me the fluids, and then last time I mentioned that I had to get a potassium drip, which burns like hell if they don't properly dilute it. And I had the nurses switched off because one's shift ended while I was getting the potassium, so the saline ran out and it started burning my arm, and I was screaming and crying for a nurse. It was horrific. If you've never had a potassium drip, like, if you don't get it, even when it is diluted, it still burns like hell. It feels like freaking poison in your veins. It is the worst. And I have a pretty decent pain tolerance. I'm not a very dramatic person, and I was like biting my lip, like trying not to scream in pain because it was just so awful. And lucky me, this time I had to get 2 saline drips. I not 1 bag, but 2 this time, and that also showed me how my body really was just shutting down, because I've had to have a potassium drip twice before, once at 6 weeks, and then another time when I had a UTI, like when I was 17 or 18 or something like that. But this was shitty. Having to sit there through the burning ass IVs for a couple hours was not fun, but it needed to be done. Yeah, and then they also said that I had some white blood cells or something in my urine, so I have UTI. And then that made a lot of sense, because when I came home that night, I was having some kidney pain and my bladder was really hurting and stuff, so I immediately started taking cranberry concentrate pills. Really helpful. And the vitamin C is a nice energy booster too. So if you're prone to UTIs, or if you get one, just get the real cranberry pills. Don't take the juice is usually from concentrate, and you would have to drink so much of the juice anyways for it to do anything. So I really highly suggest cranberry, just pure cranberry pills. And they have 1,400 milligrams of fruit per soft gel. Cranberries help support the integrity of bladder walls to promote urinary health in both men and women, and the vitamin C helps your immune system. I think I've shown you guys the prenatals I take before, but again, I take the New Chapter Perfect Prenatal Multivitamin, and I really love these because they have a herbal blend and sprouts blend in them too, which just has a bunch of fruit and veggies and herbs and things like that. So it's like, if you're somebody like me that doesn't get a lot of veggies, especially enough veggies, something like this with a herbal and sprouts blend in it is really nice, because you're getting a lot of the nutrients from those things that you normally would be missing out. So I really, really highly recommend these. They are super easy on your stomach. I take them on an empty stomach all the time. I've taken even all 3 of them at the same time on an empty stomach and had no issues. These have never ever made me sick. When I had week 10 having all that nausea, I actually didn't take these just because I knew I was just going to throw them up. So I tried to supplement it by taking some gummies then, but to be honest, I just didn't really get my vitamins for a couple of days because I just couldn't keep it down. So that really sucks. But besides that, I've been religiously taking these, and it's been awesome. As you can see, I have like no eyebrows or eyelashes because I have trich, or however you pronounce it, the hair pulling, lovely hair pulling disorder, whatever you call it. And I noticed after I started taking these that my eyelashes started growing back crazy good. Like, they grew back in a week after I'd like plucked them all out, and that was just super crazy. So I really credit these, and they were one of the #1 rated prenatals when I looked it up on Google too, so that's also why I got them. Highly recommend these. And I got this DHA. I know I haven't shared this with you guys yet, because I got this right when I started getting sick. And these are super awesome. They're just a prenatal DHA, 830 milligrams omega-3, 400 IU 3. And they have a strawberry taste, so they don't taste fishy at all. They actually smell and taste really good. I actually really like the way they smell and taste. It's like candy. I mean, you don't have these. You don't chew these either. You just swallow them too. But a lot of DHA pills just to have a fishy odor and leave a light fishy taste, but these do not at all. So I really recommend these. You're supposed to take 2 a day. I sometimes take 3 or 4, but I definitely at least take the 2 a day. But I've been trying to take an extra 1 or an extra 2 a day because I didn't start taking these until about 10 weeks. So yeah, that's about it for this update. Trying not to ramble on too much. Oh, I forgot to mention the excess saliva thing was hell also while I was nauseous, and that really did not help and contributed to that too. But anyways, besides that, I'm really glad that I've been feeling better. The ER trip was not fun. I still, as you can see, have my little... This was not a very fun place to get an IV to. This vein looks really small too, so that wasn't fun, but it had to be done because I was so sick. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all your lovely and sweet comments. Leave below in the comments. Let me know about yourself. I always love to know about my viewers. Also, any video suggestions you might have. I am going to do eventually a video on what I did the cycle I conceived, etc., etc. Just cool, different videos like that. So, yeah. And then I'm going to do my 11-week update here shortly, and that's a little bit more detailed. Excuse me. As you can see, the burping hasn't gone away yet. 11-week update will be a little bit more detailed and better than this crappy one, because this is me having to remember things that happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it's a little fuzzy, but as you can see, my notes for 11 weeks are pretty good. Lots of different symptoms and new cravings and things. Finally been starting to have some actual cravings and stuff, and aversions, of course. I haven't even written down the aversions. There's plenty of those. The joy of being pregnant. The funniest thing about being pregnant is like when something sounds really good and then you take a bite of it and it tastes disgusting and horrible and you're just like, oh god, why did I want that? Anyways, thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time for my 11-week update. Sorry, I'm not gonna show you my belly in this one because I'm not 9-10 weeks here, but I will show you a picture. I didn't get one at 10 weeks, but here is my little 9-week belly shot. And then let me show you my 11-week one. Or wait, this isn't 11 weeks, so sorry, that's all you get. But actually, I did this one at 11 weeks 2 days, so I'll give you a little tiny peep of it. Yeah, definitely lots of bloat. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.